Yazzo, what it do, man? Like, comment, subscribe, like, comment. Let's just get to it. Meg the Stallion. She had an interview yesterday with Gayle King about the Tory Lane shooting from 2020, I believe. And it didn't go well. It didn't go well. I watched the interview. It was disgusting. Terrible interview. Terrible. First of all, anything Gayle King is attached to is the devil's work. I do not trust that woman at all. She is not one of us. She is an Asian provocateur. Anytime whenever it's time to throw a black man underneath the bus, she will do it with a smile on her face. She does not like black men for some reason, and it shows. All our interviews, there is somebody getting thrown underneath the bus, and more than likely it's a black man. I don't understand why she does it. I mean, she's part of Oprah's circle. I don't think they like men at all, period, but that's just my personal opinion. But nonetheless, whenever I see her name attached to anything, I know the con job is in. I know the fix is in. And it showed yesterday during this interview. It was just a terrible interview for Meg Thee Stallion, and it backfired. She tried to portray herself to be something that she's not, an innocent flower. Let me explain something to you. Megan Thee Stallion is a rapper. She is the hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thought shit. That's her. Big black woman from Houston. But she tried to portray herself as this innocent flower. She never did nothing nobody, but that boy shot her. I'm not buying a second of it. I know she's a ratchet. And I'm not saying that to be insulting. I just know her type. There's no way you're gonna tell me that she was just an innocent victim. She didn't. She never raised her voice to anybody. She was humble. She didn't get to where she is today by being humble. Trust and believe that. Trust and believe that. So when she tries to portray herself to be that way, that's strike one. I know that to be a lie. Strike two, she did a lot of crying, a whole lot of crying. Not a single tear came out down her face, though. Not one. Not a single tear came down her face, unless it came down behind the makeup, because she had a pound of makeup on. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of makeup. The tears might have went behind the makeup and down her face, but I couldn't see any. I couldn't even see tears in her eyes. Nothing. Just a bunch of sniffling and sound like she was bawling, but no tears. That's strike number two. And just number three, they tried to. This is the new technique now they're using to try to guarantee convictions. It works. They do it with police shootings. If you don't haven't noticed, like whenever you see a police shooting, the first thing they do is show you the video, and people react off of that immediately, and that's why. So that way, when you see the video, you automatically assume the cops are guilty before the trial even starts. Your mind is made up they're guilty, and this is why cops usually beat the cases, because it's just more than a video. There's actually evidence that has to be, brought forth, so that way you can prove your innocence. And that's why cops usually beat the murder cases, the cases that they get, that they go to trial for. They usually beat them because all you see is a video, and you automatically assume it's guilt, but it's not. They did it with R. Kelly. They put a whole documentary out about R. Kelly before he was arrested. And I'm not defending R. Kelly at all. I mean, he deserves everything he gets. But I found it weird watching his documentary. I remember asking my wife, like, is this legal? Can you do this to somebody? Because usually when you watch a documentary like that, the person is either dead or in jail. But he was alive and free. And they put a whole documentary out. I thought it was very slanderous. I'm like, even if he did it, whether he did it or not, he's not getting a fair trial at all. He's already guilty because you done put this documentary out, and it did something emotionally to people. So no matter where you go, he's basically guilty just off of that documentary. And it works so well. They're doing it now again. The trial hasn't even started. The trial has not started. Tory Lanez, he's not even allowed to speak about the case. He a couple weeks ago, he almost went to jail for tweeting about some evidence in the case, and the DA wanted to raise his bail from $250,000 to $5 million. That's what kind of DA is on the case, a heathen. But the judge had some sensibility to her and raised it to $350,000 and let him go. But she gets to go on camera on national TV with Gayle King, that Asian provocateur, and speak about the entire case. Now, here's the game that's at play, because in this country the black woman must be protected at all costs. The black woman is under attack. That's what they say. I don't believe any of it. I think it's all crap and nonsense. But that's just my opinion. But the media wants you to protect black women at all costs. So they get her up there with the crocodile tears, the innocent flower victim stance. Yeah, she never did nothing to nobody. She was just, she didn't raise her voice. She said it was time to go in a nice, calm manner, and everything went chaotic after that. If you want to believe that, fine. I don't believe it for a second. A lot of inconsistencies about the story. She lied about her original statements to the police. She said she got shot. She said she didn't get shot. Said it was some glass in her foot, and Gayle King asked her, "Well, why did you lie to the police?" Well, and then she basically said because of George Floyd. She said George Floyd was the reason she lied. She said because when the police came, I thought they were going to kill all of us. She said, I thought they were going to kill all of us. Can you believe? I'm not making this up. She actually used George Floyd as a reason why she lied to the police. She said, yeah, because the police, they definitely have a shoot first, ask questions later mentality. So I was trying to protect all of us. If you don't believe me, go watch the interview. I don't even know if I would play it, but I don't know if I'm allowed to because it's a CBS thing. But she said she was trying to protect everybody by lying, because she thought they were all gonna die if she didn't lie to the police and say she had glass in the foot, and she didn't tell them about the gun in the car and the fact that he shot her, that they were all going to die at the hands of the police. Unbelievable nonsense. I don't even know how. If y'all believe this crap, I feel bad for you. But this is definitely some scripted nonsense. I mean, she's just allowed to go up there and just tell everything about the case. She even went up there and said that Tory Lanez admitted. He said, "I'm sorry for shooting you, and I'm going to give you $1 million each if you don't say anything." Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? Like, how is he supposed to go to trial in September and feel confident that he's going to get a fair trial? You feel what I'm saying? This doesn't make any sense. And reportedly, the DNA evidence came back on the weapon, on the gun, and his DNA is not on that weapon. So we're going to have an interesting situation come in September. I don't know if it's going to make it that far. They might reach an agreement. But she was definitely lying during that interview. I didn't believe a single word she said. She couldn't even answer the question as far as did she have a sexual relationship with Tory Lanez? As soon as Gayle King asked that question, she couldn't even answer it. She finally said no, but then she had to get clarity of what do you mean by a sexual relationship? And she had to ask it like 3 times. Sexual relationship? Did I have one? Right there, another lie. Like, this is terrible for her and her camp. And she's getting flamed online, and she should be. I think people are hip to these kind of acts. And on top of that, there's so many reality shows out there. Like, I think people are just numb. Like, you can see when somebody's acting, and she just looked like she was on a reality show. Everything she said was like, it seemed scripted. None of it seemed genuine. And like the whole crying with no tears, that's always a red flag for a lot of people. I think she hurt her credibility, and yes, she hurt herself. I think this backfired, but this is the new strategy that they have now going forward. They're just gonna put the evidence out there before trial to try to guarantee conviction, to guarantee that you're going to think the way they want you to think, and it works so well. So why not keep doing it? But I think at this point, people, like I said, they're numb, they're fed up with it. I wasn't there that night. I don't know what happened, but I know one thing. I know her version of events. I don't believe that at all. I want to hear what Tory Lanez has to say, his version of events. But mind you, you're not gonna hear that until trial. And by that time, who watches a trial anyway? Have you ever tried to watch a trial? It's very boring. It's not like Law and Order. It's not like like the court shows on TV. It's not that hour long of questioning and intense moments. Very boring. A lot of pictures, a lot of evidence. Item 1, item 100, 1,000. So you're not going to pay attention to it unless what the media wants you to know from it. So unfortunately, we're not going to know all the details. But what they did with her was very slimy. I still don't know how it's legal. for her to be able to just go out there and do that. But nonetheless, she went out there and did it. I think she made a fool of herself. And like I said, anything Gayle King is attached to, don't believe it for a second. But that's my time. I hate being woke for reasons like this. I see right through it. Like, subscribe, comment, like, subscribe, share the video as well. I hate being woke, and I'm out.